I do agree that the whole exposure of how corrupt the Democratic Party establishment really is, the fact that they go all in on somebody like Tom Suozzi without hesitation, because they know that he is going to deliver for corporate special interests as well as anybody can on the Hill. But you have been talking at great length for a number of years now about what a failure the squad really is. And now it's coming home to roost because one of the only people who ever seems to speak out in any capacity, however tepidly it may be, for issues that do matter to working class people, Cori Bush, who has not really taken the type of chances that she's really needed to, is now faced with a situation where she's likely going to get bumped out of Congress. I said they would get at least one of them. I thought it would be Ilhan Omar. It seems to me that Cori looks like to be the one right now who is on the ropes. I mean, this is not, granted, this election is not for another 6 months, but at the same time, a lot could happen. With that said, this is not good. It's not a good look for her. And it's not a good look for them because they continue to suggest that maybe if we just make nice with the establishment, it's eventually going to work out for us.
Yeah, I hope they've learned their lesson. I hate to see an AIPAC-Backed candidate defeat Cori Bush. I don't want to see that.
No.
But this is what happens when you have these people who are just liberal reformers. At the end of the day, that's all they are. And they, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what their motivations really are. But if they thought they were going to make nice and then be treated nice, well, they were all wrong. She's facing a primary challenger. The ridiculous Jamal Bowman, Mr. Fire Alarm, is facing a primary challenger. They're going to get them anyway. So they should have been, actually, I also believe, if they really fought for the interests of the people, if they really lived up to their hype, I think they could overcome these challenges. But unfortunately, they made the wrong choice.
I mean, they're coming after Cori every which way. This nonsense that went down with her husband, all of that stuff is all courtesy of AIPAC and the like.
And what's even more amazing is that it was proven within like 24 hours that, no, actually, she's above board. She did everything the right way. There's nothing going on.
But once it's out there, it's out there.
Of course.
But what I was going to say is that depending on when this poll was conducted, like polls change very quickly, especially when we're dealing with whenever this was done in the news cycle that was just recently where there was shit coming out about her. So for all I know, they did this poll right when that happened. And so it could be skewed. And by the time, and 6 months is a long time, if that has any impact on this.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but she and the rest of them, they talk a good game, but then when push comes to shove, they back their establishment. AOC, she's Biden's biggest backer. These embarrassing interviews about how, people just, they personalize things and this word salad gobbledygook. She is, they're setting her up for bigger things. I'm certain of that. But it's just absurd, and it just shows you the disconnect between politics and the people. That people like her, like some of these other phony progressives, are allowed to advertise themselves as progressives, which means that's what the people want. That's the sad part. They know what people want. People want a national health care system. We want the child tax credit to come back. We want the minimum wage to be higher. We want all these things that they talk about, that they claim to want. We want a lower military budget. We don't want our public money being spent all over the world for nefarious purposes. But at the end of the day, they need some of them. They need a few of them to talk the progressive talk and then come running back at the key moment. And that's unfortunately what we're living with.
The sad truth is also Cori's basically on an island. I don't see anybody, whether it is AOC, Jamal, Rashida, Ilhan, Summerlee, but at the end of the day, the lack of cohesion with true left populism is why right populism is as successful as it is. because they really do band together. They really do take chances, and they don't get emotionally caught up with every little micro disagreement that exists. They realize that their cause is more important than worrying about what some lunatic like Marjorie Taylor Greene spouts off every once in a while. Whereas on the left, it's like, did you hear what that person said?
Well, they have, Jamal Bowman, for a while, he was making a whole career out of fighting with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm like, who cares what she says? She's a joke. Why are you paying attention to her? But he, now I had to look for it. It's introducing the hip hop task force. I mean, that's his latest thing. Somehow, a hip hop task force is going to do something about racial justice and economic inequality. I mean, it's ludicrous. But
that would be the equivalent of like the kente cloth moment. I swear to you, like that is just so stupid.
I just wonder who's actually in their ear
so
and making suggestions like, this is what you need to do in order to build up more support.
Who does that work with? The same people who like him are the same people that would find that likable. No one knew that's so stupid.
I always revert back to him because he's the best representative in the GOP. But how is Thomas Massie able to get away with what he gets away with? He doesn't meet with lobbyists. He rejects corporate money. He tells Donald Trump to go F himself. And yet he's still immensely popular and is supremely protected.
He's obviously representing his constituents to the manner in which they want to be represented.
So how come he can do that? And yet no one else seems to want to take that chance. Well,
they could do it too, but they're just chicken poop. That's all they are. They're phony. They're opportunists, and so they aren't serious about anything. And if they were serious, the Democratic Party wouldn't let them get elected in the first place.
But then we have commentary like this from friend of the show who is on the right, base Chad Thunderjock. What a name! We the people want affordable health care, not national health care. I got news for you, pal. Single payer universal health care is the only affordable health care that exists. Everything else is bullshit. And to suggest otherwise,
I think they just don't like the term of, as opposed to single payer national run. I don't think that they like the idea.
It's like, what do they think? But what do people think Medicare is?
I don't
understand. It's like Medicare for all. That's it. That's why people have had horrible experiences with this for-profit healthcare system. The high deductibles, the denial of care, all of the things that we're told that would happen if we had the system like the rest of the world, we actually have and pay through the nose and have the worst outcomes. I mean, the U.S. ranks like 35th or 40th in the world. It's like, wait. And when people say, we have the best healthcare system in the world, we do not. I mean, there are little pockets of places where you
do. For like when it comes to like state of the art and some really good stuff, we do have that here. It exists, and certain people have access to that, but everybody else gets nothing. So the average person here is infinitely worse off than the average person in any other country that has healthcare.
You have to remove the for-profit middlemen in between us and our doctors. That's it.
It's not really, but then we're told, was it the Wall Street Journal had an article, it would be terrible if you paid less for pharmaceuticals, or this is actually a good thing for you to go broke paying for this stuff. I don't know.
Well, of course, and we were just the other day talking about how, you've got Pfizer ads going during the Super Bowl, and, right up there with the Israel ads, let them keep putting their money. They could take out as many ads as they want. It's not going to help them at this point.
No, it's definitely not going to help them. But this is why corporate propaganda is so powerful in this country. Yes. Everyone was caught up talking about Taylor Swift nonstop. I was more concerned about Travis Kelce doing big pharma ads for Pfizer and getting paid $20 million to do that stuff. As far as I'm concerned, that's the issue that wasn't being talked about. And why? Because corporate special interests like Big Pharma and private insurance pay top dollar to make sure that it isn't talked about.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.